today we have a really cool surprise. A new car just came in, and it is a 75 Chevy Monza, and I am actually here with the owner, Alec. He is going to be doing the walk around with me, and we're gonna learn a little bit more about this cool new car.
All right, so here's the 75 Monza. You bought this, what, last night, basically?
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah, 350 car. I like the European spelling of the litre. 2+. So what is 2+2? Were they all called 2+2s?
For 75, they were all 2+2s, which is the hatchback. They had the S trim come out in 76, and they had the Town Coupe, which was the ugly little notchback monstrosity.
It basically looked like a Mustang 2. But yeah, it's funny. So yeah, your car before this was your 74 Mustang 2.
74 Mustang 2.
Car of the year.
Car of the year 74. This is car of the year 75.
Car of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
76 is the Aspen, so you can't pay me enough to do that.
So this is originally a California car, right?
Yep, California
so originally a California 350.
That's the only way to get that. 75 California car is the only way to get a factory 350 in one of these, and that's really the only way you want one. The 4-cylinders were the Vega 4-cylinder, which is a funny way of saying junk, and 76 they got a 305, which is a less funny way of saying junk.
Yeah, so technically a 1-year only car and a 1-year state car, technically,
Yeah,
right?
it's like those weird hybrids now that are with the hydrogen stuff that's only in California.
So it looks like we have a Goodwrench 350. So do you know where the original 350 went?
Probably between the fenders. But he said it was rebuilt, but Goodwrench says otherwise.
Okay.
So
yeah, maybe
say,
they took that one out, threw it away, and just popped this in because these were really cheap, especially a long time ago.
Yeah.
And then so let's see, factory AC car, factory power steering car. Is it loaded technically?
Should be. I haven't found the protector plate or whatever it's called on Chevys, but yeah, it's got everything I can possibly think of.
So this thing is so funny to me because it is such a clear, obvious pre-4th gen Camaro. Super tiny though, yeah. But you can't see how tiny this thing is in person. But yeah, very, very similar to a 4th gen. You like this thing a lot, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because we technically want to get a Vega, but this is the
factory V8 Vega.
Yeah, factory V8, much better looking Vega replacement, or not Vega replacement, Vega.
It's the Luxo,
yeah, Luxo Vega.
Luxo Econo box. Just like the Mustang too. That's actually why I got it. It's the same car.
So this thing's been sitting since what? It says 07?
Tags say 07. Previous owner said 12 years. So average the two, you get somewhere in the 14, 13 range. I honestly don't care. Sitting is sitting.
Yeah, it's been sitting. It's got an electric fuel pump, and that's supposedly why it hasn't ran. New batteries, new tires, but it's a small block, so I don't really see why we couldn't get this running in like the next 5 minutes.
You look at it funny, it'll run.
Yeah, so I think we're just gonna start tearing into this thing. Probably take this off. I want to look at that car, and I don't see why we couldn't have this thing making noise today. Okay, so before I pull the air cleaner off, I'm gonna get this insulated off. The car's official first weight reduction. I'll have to make sure to weigh it. Trying to make it come off in one piece, but it's not going to.
Just doing it barehanded.
Major improvement.
Wow, it already looks better.
Yeah, it looks like it's good shape too. All right, so I want to see this car. I think it's either 2CG or 2CV. Is that what you said?
GC or GV. I know nothing about carbs, other than they're fun and make fires sometimes. That's
2JE. Oh, 2Jet. Okay, no, 2Jet, 2GV right there. Oh no, that says GM. So 2Jet. I'll have to find some part numbers.
2J.
That's got some words on it.
Seems to have been rebuilt.
We'll have to bust out Google really quick and see what this is.
All right,
so these cars famously, it's very difficult to do plugs and wires on because you actually have to lift the motor out to change whatever number plug. It's just like, in 3rd and 4th gen, same thing. And knowing that, I had a feeling these plugs and wires are extremely old. So even if we got it running, it's definitely not going to run on 8. Yeah, and sure enough, this one's been chewed on. They're the extremely chalky wires, so we could probably have it make noise. You haven't even tried to crank this thing, right?
The ignition is sitting in the center console.
Okay, yeah, so we'll have to figure out how to crank it to see if it makes, if it turns over, I'll check oil, make sure it's, oh yeah, it's got a fan, I can check if it spins. But as far as making it drive, definitely not unless we want to partially lift the motor. But yeah, we can see if we can make it, at least make noise. Go. And also it's got this really wild looking, I don't even know what kind of fuel line that is. So it's got a tank. Yeah, they got a tank with a pump inside of it. So I can theoretically just tap onto this and have some gravity going to it, assuming this carb works. But yeah, we really have to start clearing this out sooner than later. Let's see if it has oil, and then we'll try to crank it. It's so hard to get out there. Okay, it's got dark oil in it, but at least something's in there. Yeah, I wish I could pull all the plugs out to spin it over fast to get the oil pump to prime, but that's definitely not happening. But yeah, it's got plenty of oil.
Right.
And then, so do you even know how to turn the ignition on? Is it like, is the key broken off, or we have to?
Please hold.
So we go to crank it, and sure enough, so this ignition tumbler is totally fried. There's even the old one here still. I'm trying to pull the steering wheel off, but there's a lot of corrosion in here. The horn that's taken apart. I made a puller, and it just bent immediately. So we're gonna just go grab an actual real puller, and then see if we can actually get it to crank over before we even try to get it started running. All right, so it's funny when you use the right tool, how it comes up literally instantly. I'm gonna say though that my homemade tool is what got it off initially. But okay, so that's off. And then let's pull these off, and then I'll see if I can get this ignition lock out. Okay, so the rest of this is off. Oddly enough, the car came with the old tumbler and then also a new tumbler that was installed and didn't work. But so we go ahead and pull this apart. This piece fell out completely, and even when bottomed out, just spins freely. So clearly something else is wrong in this column, like deep in there. And it was attempted to be fixed with a new tumbler, and that didn't work. So I guess now this column has to be pulled out and really gone through and see what's going on. You can see here also that tab there, that's the tab that comes out when you pull the key out, which engages with this plate to have your steering wheel lock when you're not in use after like 1969. That obviously when it was never working, we were pushing the car around with no ignition lock. But in the meantime, I think we're gonna figure out a way to bypass, so deep, it's too dark to see, but deep in there. So purple is the start circuit, and then pink is the ignition circuit. So I know how to hot wire the HEI itself, and then see if I can get underneath if I can hot wire the starter. Okay, so naturally, it's funny how I was like super excited because I'm like, yeah, a small block Chevy can be super easy to run. Of course, the key doesn't freaking work. So the ignition is easy to tap into. On HEIs, it's this wire right here. Just put 12 volts to the HEI, it'll run. The starter wire I've been chasing, so it's purple. It starts here, it runs here, I've been chasing it here, and it goes forwards. It's really funny how in the way this AC compressor is, it's so big, it mounts to the headers, like that's, or the stock manifolds, it literally braces off of those. So I wanted to try to get this thing running complete since, you know, I want to see, like, hear it running around like this, and also it's not my car. It's not like I'm just going to completely rip it apart. But yeah, this thing is just too in the way because it runs this way, so I guess we'll ditch this and then go from there. Unceremonious belt cutting. No turning back now. Okay, I think I got all the mounting out. This thing's not light, it's very well braced.
And it's R12, so it doesn't matter how it goes back in as long as it's, you know, not R12. Thanks, California.
We'll definitely have to weigh everything. So that's out, that bracket's out, and this bracket has one more bolt. Now I'll put the three together and we'll know at least what the, oh that's right, there's even more bracketry because there's this guy and there's the one that goes on the manifold, So I've got, I said, most of those brackets off. I'm taking this extra one, the one that mounts to the actual manifold. And I noticed that this is gonna be a trend with this car. So this is the bolt that goes all the way in and, you know, actually goes into the head. You can't actually remove it in the car, which means technically to pull the headers off, or I guess technically you could let the header off, but yeah, this bolt, there's just not enough room. There was no way to design it with enough room. And then, so most of everything up here is basically sort of like gridlock. You can see, okay, this can remove this, but it's a matter of figuring out what to remove first and like what the order of removing stuff is. So I took off a bunch of vacuum lines, this whole cluster. It literally has a quad T. So those are all gone, making more progress, more room.
Is that a double quad? Or is it just a weird...
Oh no, yeah, just one. And then also we've got the, the thermostat's got the thermostat housing's got a bunch of weird things that going on in it. And then like even the water pump is super unique because it doesn't, like the heater lines run in a weird way. So Yeah, slowly making room. All right, so I unraveled a lot of the wiring. I was hoping I could keep it intact since this car is totally unmodified, but it's, what, 47 years old?
Yeah.
So I've got another painless chassis harness for GM that I'm probably going to just rewire this car from scratch. There's so much going on. I don't know what any of it does. A lot of it's kind of corroded. So, because I did that to the El Camino, let's see, that was several months ago now. But so I've taken off the starter wire. I haven't hot wired the HEI yet, but here, let's just give power to the starter. Let's see if it spins. That spins really good.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, it's not seized. Yeah, we couldn't. All the plugs are in it, and we couldn't. There's no way to get to the crank to like turn it over. So yeah, this thing starts over good. So hey, it is officially, technically made noise. So at least somewhat of a win for me.
Woo.
Okay, let me now wire the HEI.
Do not put your hair over the carburetor.
Wait, what? Why would I put my hair over the carb?
Makes a good thumbnail.
Okay, so got the ignition wired up. Have the starter here. I have no fuel in the carburetor yet. Assuming it actually pops off or does something, I'm gonna hook up just gravity feed to this fitting, but it's full of starter fluid, and let's see what happens. So ignition on, start. Yeah, so it starts. Here, can you, as soon as it starts, can you spray near that carburetor, but don't don't put your face in it, okay?
Absolutely.
Just blast it for a couple seconds. Okay, good. Okay, ignition, start. Ready?
Yep.
But you know what? Let's actually just get fuel in it. It runs, so let's get fuel. Okay, so got some gravity feed fuel. It's leaking. It's not leaking at my fitting. It's leaking at, like, I guess this bowl gasket, whatever that is. So let's see if we can do this quickly.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so ignition, contact.
Oh, now it doesn't want to cooperate.
Do you need me to?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Like deep in there.
In the hole.
Just in the back, guys. Ignition. Go to the back, see how it sounds.
Yes, I know the exhaust is on the other side.
Does it sound like it's missing?
It sounds like it blew a lot out of the exhaust.
It doesn't sound like it's missing.
It sounds like the cam is a circle.
How's it sound?
It's on.
Super smooth.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Super clean.
It's weird. I can lift my finger to shut it off, but it's still running.
It's shooting the,
Does it need more lube?
No, we're good. That's not lube.
but... Huh, well that's a running car.
Really good. Does it sound okay?
Yeah.
Oh my god, no, it sounds super clean.
Really?
Like, is it missing? I'm like, no.
So it shakes.
It
a
sounds
little
like the
bit up
cam
here.
is like just enough to run, you know?
So-
like it's so smooth.
It's I can't really tell if it's missing. It's idling, I think, really low.
If it's missing,
But-
it's not missing very
I
bad.
can't believe it actually runs at all. So have we shown this plug
Let me
wire?
grab cardboard.
So
we
literally
showed it earlier,
this
but-
plug wire is gone. These are the chalkiest wires of all time. The plugs, I'm guessing, are super old because of how hard they are to do. But
That's why I went small block Chevys, because they will run if you look at them funny.
yeah, I've been saying that. Oh, it'll run in 5 minutes. And he's been like, oh yeah, Chevy guy.
5 hours later.
technically. Yeah, and it's got a bunch of these are blocked off. So, all right, cool. Let me get this fuel out of it so we don't leak everywhere.
Yeah.
No.
You're filming?
Yeah.
All right, so I think we're done for tonight. Obviously, we got what we wanted. It ran good. So now we're going to be talking. We're going to figure out, what parts we want to order. Obviously, a lot needs to be done. We've got a little bit already. We've got a set of plug wires, even though it ran with the half-chewed destroyed wires. I've got all of my classic braid. This is what I wrap the El Camino in. I'm going to rewrap that for now. Maybe actually de-pin some of the wiring, if unless I decide to actually just completely rewire it. Looking more into like what I can delete, and then obviously we have to completely redo that column. All right, so I think we're done for tonight. It did what we wanted to. It made noise, and it made really good noise. So now we're going to be going over to the car. We're going to talk about what parts to order. We've got a lot we want to do. Obviously, it needs a lot. We want to do brakes at some point, switch it to 5-lug, make it safe, make it manual. We're going to be looking more about like what to delete and what order. This wiring, I'm going to go through it, see if I can de-pin what I can. I've got all of my painless braid here. I'm going to rewrap it and all of that. Try to clean it up because obviously this thing needs as much cleaning up as possible. We got plug wires earlier. I thought we would need them. I guess we don't, but obviously those will go on soon too. And then, yeah, so you think it's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, no, it's amazing. We just definitely need to make more space in the bay, which, I mean, what we do is...
There's not a lot of space to make.
There's not a lot of space, but, I have faith in you. And honestly, it sounded great. There was no misfire, which is wonderful.
I don't know. I think it was just so quiet you couldn't hear miss. We're good.